last year was, and so they don't do anything different, so everything stays the same. And what you've got to do is you've got to take your life to another level by learning to anticipate only, big words now, that's a big word, learning to anticipate only outcomes that are desirable to you, and never give any energy to outcomes that you don't desire. Now, with that in mind, what happens when I have anxiety? Well, my heart palpitates, my hands sweat, my forehead sweats, and the only action I can do is I can either sit down or I can lie down. Why? Because worrying about that future outcome has robbed me of all of my energy to take any action in the present that can keep that negative outcome from happening. But what happens when I have anticipation? Do you remember when you were a little kid? Do you remember when you were a little kid on Christmas Eve and you knew what you were getting the next day? Do you remember when your parents kept saying, y'all better go to bed, go to bed, go to bed? Maybe that didn't happen to y'all, but I've got 6 brothers. The hardest night of the year for us to ever fall asleep was on Christmas Eve. Why? We knew what we were getting the next day. And when you know what's coming to you in the future, it gives you energy in the present, as long as it's something you desire. But if you're expecting something in the future that you don't desire, it robs you of energy in the future. It robs you of energy in the present. So what we got to learn how to do is to only give attention to outcomes we desire. Why? Because where attention goes, intention flows. Okay, so this is why I created a program that is an educational program. How many of you have learned something tonight about overcoming procrastination that you did not know before you jumped on this presentation? Give me some hearts, say yes, type yes. If you do, how many of you learned something? You learned a little bit about yourself, but here, I'm going to tell you something. You don't know this because you heard me say it. You know how you can tell if you really learned what I said tonight? You will know that you really learned what I said tonight when you have the ability to take an action that you haven't had the ability to take in the past. That's when you'll know you learned it. When you stop stopping yourself and you start starting yourself, you will know for sure that you're in the right place at the right time. That's when you'll know you've learned something. And that's why I started the Virtual Millionaire Club. And I'm going to tell you what I believe. First of all, let me say this. I know that I can't promise you you're going to make any amount of money. I can't promise you you're going to make 15 cents. I can't promise you you're going to make $15. Certainly can't promise you're going to make $1 million. I can't promise you that. It would be against the law. And besides, it would be a lie because I don't know what you're going to do because I don't know you that well. I don't know what you're going to do. But here's what I believe. I believe that some of the people are going to take this concept that I've created and they're going to go and they're going to make millions of dollars. And I believe that we are going to have, inside 2 years, I believe we're going to have people inside the Virtual Millionaire Club who are going to be making $100,000 a month. And by the way, I can see that so clearly, like it's so clear to me. By the way, notice what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a future outcome that I believe in. You don't have to believe in it. I don't even need you to believe in it. I believe in it so much, I take action on it every day. I created a Virtual Millionaire Club. Now, that sounds like a hypey name, so I want to calm down while I talk about the Virtual Millionaire Club, because the Virtual Millionaire Club is not a business opportunity, right? It's not a business opportunity. It is an educational portal. Here's why. Because the difference between where you are and where you'd like to be is exactly the same as the difference between what you know and what you haven't learned and implemented yet. So my goal is to teach you something so you can know something new, so you can take a new action, so you can produce a new outcome. That's my desire for you. And so I created the Virtual Millionaire Club as an educational portal to teach you 3 different things. Here's what I know. I know that ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. By the way, here's what that means though. If you're going to take the good, you got to take the bad with the good, right? So if you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free, here's what that means. If you don't know the truth, then the lack of knowing the truth will keep you in bondage. And what you got to do is you got to make up your mind whether you want to be free or whether you want to be in bondage. So you can come and learn this information inside the Virtual Millionaire Club. The Virtual Millionaire Club is an educational portal where I teach 3 things. There are 3 things you're going to learn inside the Virtual Millionaire Club. The first thing you're going to learn is you're going to learn finance. I'm going to call it personal finance. I'm just going to put FIN. Personal finance. You're going to learn financial literacy. And even more importantly than financial literacy, you're going to learn financial intelligence. You're going to learn how to be wise about your money. Second thing you're going to learn is you are going to learn business development. By the way, if there are three things that I'm good at, like you know how people say if you're going to do something, you should do the thing that you have the opportunity to be the best in the world at. Okay, so you're going to learn business development. If there's something I'm really good at, I'm really good at personal finance, and I'm really good at business development. I wrote a best-selling book called From the Trash Man to the Cat. You got to understand something, folks. I was born in a segregated hospital in Tampa, Florida, May 14th, 1961. I contracted polio before I was a year old. I did great in school all the way through the 3rd grade. It went downhill from there. I almost quit high school 2 weeks before my graduation. I don't have a college degree. My first job as a married man with a wife and a young child was driving a garbage truck for $6.25 an hour. That's my backstory. But here's the rest of the story. I have made millions of dollars. I've made millions of dollars in sales. I've taught my students to make millions of dollars in sales. Personal finance, I'm good at. Business development, I'm good at. I wouldn't want to say I'm great. I don't want to feel like I'm patting myself on the back. But this is stuff I've spent my life learning. I spent decades studying this stuff, so you don't have to. You can capitalize on stuff that's taken me decades to learn, and you can plug and play, right? Business development, and you're going to learn it all. The third thing, from a biblical perspective. I'm not going to teach you a bunch of Christianese so that you can go around practicing churchianity. I'm going to teach you the essence of what the Bible is saying so you can go do what it says and apply it to your personal finance, apply it to your business development. Why is it that Jewish people are less than 1% of the world's population, but they control more than 40% of the world's wealth? The reason is they understand the essence of some things about wealth that you don't understand yet. By the way, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, I am going to teach you God's original design for wealth. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So you're going to learn personal development, you're going to learn personal finance, business development, and you're going to learn all of it from a biblical perspective. When you do, and you apply it to your life, it's going to take you to a whole nother level. So I've created the Virtual Millionaire Club. The Virtual Millionaire Club is going to give you, every week, you're going to get 2 new audios every week in the Virtual Millionaire Club. You're going to get 1 new video, this is per week. You're going to get 1 new video per month. Now, why don't I give you more than that? Because I have no interest in you checking it off so you can say you know it. The reason I don't give you more than that is because I don't want you to check this stuff off and say, oh, I know that already. I want you to master it. And if I give you a week to listen to 2 audios, if you listen to those 2 audios every day, the chances of you mastering it are a whole lot better than you listening to it once and saying, I got that already. If I only give you 1 video a month, and you study, I'm telling you, the video that's inside the Virtual Millionaire Club in the first month, it's called How to Make the Rest of Your Life the Best of Your Life. When you begin to master the principles of the platform of time, space, and matter, the parameters of be, do, and have, and the process, I'm not going to tell you what the process is. You'll learn it when you get inside the Virtual Millionaire Club. When you go in there and you study that video, don't watch the video. Study the video and begin to implement those things. Your life will never be the same. It's gonna make chains fall off of your mind and give you the ability to take big action in a big way that you've never been able to take before. Okay, so that's what you get in the Virtual Millionaire Club. And I did something I don't usually do. And for those of you who know me and have ever bought any of my stuff, you know Myron does not sell inexpensive stuff. I don't